Hello, this is TCP White. I am on a mission to positively change the world. This is Letter to Mr. President 7. I shall be focusing on communication with Nigerians. Communication with Nigerians. Mr. President, one of the perceived weaknesses of your administration, especially in its first term, is poor communication. The perception and the narrative in the lips of many Nigerians is the fact that our president doesn't speak with us, and when he does, it is usually when on foreign trips. I perceive that prowess of the garb is not one of your strengths as a person. However, that should not reflect in your administration. Ordinarily, it is expected that in your recruitment or in your appointment, you should or you would appoint people who will help you cover up for the areas that you are lacking as a person, so that there will be a balance in the administration. This is where a competent media team comes in. My question to you here and now, Mr. President, is in your second term, what can you do differently, sir? One of the major uphill tasks that you had or your campaign team had in selling your candidacy for the just concluded elections which you have won is to convince Nigerians that in your first tenure you had achievements to showcase. The reason for this is that throughout the 3.5 or 4 years leading to the election, many of your achievements have been buried with no media coverage, and I will lay this squarely at the lack of tact of your media handlers. It is expected that good works will earn you another term in office, but when the people from whom you should seek a re-election bid does not even know what you have achieved, how then are you able to sell your candidacy? Your achievements came to light only after the opposition party or the major opposition challenged you to prove to Nigerians or to produce your achievements to Nigerians. And this is not how it's supposed to be. You ought to be, or your media team ought to be, more proactive than reactive. The opposition should not challenge you before you tell Nigerians what you have done. It should be seen, it should be glaring to all. And this can only be achieved if and when you take communication with Nigerians seriously. If as a politician, this is now talking generally, we have the attitude that we are serving the people, it will be easier to be accountable to the people. Whatever you have done, you can then showcase to the people. This is what we have as a challenge. This is what we are doing. This is when we hope to surmount this challenge. And the people will be carried along. And like I mentioned in one of the other episodes, what you get when you continue to communicate with people, with the citizenry, is that you earn their support. Openness, transparency, honesty earn you the people's support. But when people do not know what government is doing, when they don't know what happened, what is happening, and when they will be able to come out of whatever situation, what happens is that mischief makers prey on ignorance, prey on the lack of information to sell a different agenda. So I had advised earlier that if need be, reshuffle your media team, or else if you are to retain them, make them work for their beat, make them work for their pay. It is necessary now, especially as you are not having a re-election bid on your chest or on your shoulder. It will be good to have a president that is more focused, that is more on ground, that is more communicative, as in you spend more time talking to Nigerians. Again, the issue here with Nigerians is that we prefer to hear from the point man than through his media aides. Now, I don't think that is an issue because it is neither here nor there. If you have people who speak for you, people should not be expecting to hear from you all the time. But this is Nigeria and we are who we are. So it will not cost you so much, Mr. President, if you periodically chat with Nigerians or find a platform either through the addressing the National Assembly or through a presidential media chat that have been instituted by the previous administration. Just find a way to hold Nigerians, to keep them abreast of what you are doing from time to time. What this does is it endears you to the citizenry. It makes you one of their favorite person because they look forward to it. Yes, it's not everything you say that people will accept. Politicians will always be who they are. Whatever you say, they will twist it, they will interpret it differently. However, you owe a duty to the people that have elected you, the people whom you have sworn to serve, to always communicate with them, because in the real sense, the boss here are the citizens, and you need to communicate with them what you are doing and how you are doing it. So on the other hand, I personally follow almost all the communication handles of the presidency, both on Facebook, on Twitter, and all the other areas. And I get up-to-date information. But I cannot say the same for my fellow citizens. Not all Nigerians are on Twitter. Even when they are, many of them are not following the right handles. Many of them are not interested in this information through this medium. They rather will want to hear you speak. Like I've said earlier, it is neither here nor there. What we need to do is to ensure that we do the best that we can do to serve the greater majority. So like I have advised earlier, my call to you through this medium is to find a way to ensure that timely and up-to-date information is dished out to Nigerians through, for example, a presidential media chat. You can also do so by several means, employing a young, dynamic communication expert to handle your communication team. I personally think that the current Minister for Information did better as a spokesperson for the APC than he did for the presidency or for the government. So I would recommend in your second term, sir, we need somebody who is young, somebody who is dynamic, somebody who can face the challenges to be able to address people, and it should be done on daily basis, not attacking people or attacking opposition, because that seems to be what some of your media handlers are doing. They are always quick to attack those who attack you. That is not their job. Their job is to keep Nigerians abreast. Information will quell every form of attack. When people are well informed, they will think differently. So attacking people in response to the attack is not the way to communicate, but rather to be proactive, to be in the forefront of dishing out information. Before mischief makers will sell their misinformation, the government agencies or the government aides should first dish out the right information. Get on top of issues, Mr. President. When there are issues affecting Nigerians, it is important that you comment on it. Don't be quick to react to things that are happening in foreign countries than you do to your own countrymen. So people may want to hear your voice once in a while, do so, but keep information at top notch. It is important that Nigerians keep abreast of what you are doing, and this is the way you can endear yourself to them and win the people over to you and not to the other side. My name is TCP White. I am on a mission to positively change the world.